We invited Judy Girard to speak at a Power Breakfast 6 years ago to talk about her experiences as the president of the Food Network and HGTV. She decided to announce at that breakfast her plan to build an all-girls charter school here in Wilmington. Girls Leadership Academy of Wilmington, or GLOW, opened less than 3 years later in 2016 with a class of 100 sixth graders. As each class has moved up a grade, the school has added another 100 sixth graders, so they now have students in 6th through 9th grades. This year, GLOW moved into their new $14.5 million high school and middle school buildings on a 31-acre campus. To mark this achievement, we asked Judy to come back and share the lessons she's learned along the way. But first, we'd like to show you a couple of video clips. The first clip is from the Power Breakfast 6 years ago, when Judy talks about the lessons she learned from Chef Julia Child and Tennessee basketball coach Pat Summitt. Judy had the opportunity to shadow Pat Summitt at a game once. Her team played terribly in the first half, so Judy was really excited to watch this legendary coach ream them out at halftime. But when they got to the locker room, the coach handed the chalk to one of her players and told them she was leaving the locker room and they needed to figure it out. In this video, Judy recalls her conversation with the coach after they won the game.
And I said to her, I can't believe you took that chance. That was just so, I was blown away by what she did. And she said, it's not about the game. It was never about the game, ever. It's about teaching those kids, those girls, self-confidence, perseverance, letting them have their voice and finding their voice. And she recruited all of her kids, all of them from Title I schools. And that day, of the 110 girls that she had coached to that date, she knew where all 110 of them were, and that they had pulled out and had a choice in life about who they were and what they did, and they had pulled out of what was otherwise going to be poverty and victimization. There's no doubt about it. And so the aha moment for me between those two women was that, oh my gosh, it's not about the numbers. It's not about how many women are in leadership. It's bigger than that. It's about choice. It's about giving every girl in this country and every girl in this city the choice to take charge of her life.
At that Power Breakfast 6 years ago, Judy met another one of the speakers that day, Laura Hunter, who had recently been named Brunswick County's Teacher of the Year. They would go on to do some pretty cool things together.
My name is Laura Hunter, and I'm the principal here at the Girls Leadership Academy of Wilmington. And this school is a school that's a home for so many girls in our community, and I see them walk through our doors every day, authentically who they are, with strong voices and strong minds, and building sisterhood. It is truly a place of growth and learning and emergence into adulthood. I have every faith that the girls that are walking the halls of this very new building right now are going to be change makers in the years to come.
Thank you so much for supporting GLOW's College Bound program. Over the past 3 years, we've gone to 5 different campuses, and by far, Chapel Hill made the biggest impact on me.
Before I came to GLOW, I wasn't as good at math as I am now, and now I'm proud to say that I am in an honors math class next semester.
Thank you for allowing me to be in tennis and allowing me to go and see the Althea Gibson statue and learning about her, and for me to be in the US Open in New York.
I've been in this business for 19 years, and I will tell you without a doubt, schools are a reflection of the communities that they are embedded in and that they serve. And our school is a reflection of this Wilmington community. We are diverse, we are fun, we are robust because the Wilmington community has gotten behind us and supported us from our inception to this very moment.
The future is me.
The future is me. The future is me.
The future is me.
Please join me in welcoming back Judy Girard.
I don't know as I can talk after that or not. That's very, very emotional. I don't even know where to start. When you go do a project like this, and again, I am not the founder. There are a lot of people that are founders to this I'm going to introduce in a few minutes. But when you do a project like this, you rely on your friends to get you through, right? That you send them emails, you call them in the middle of the night, this happened, blah, 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 blah. So I have a friend, Susan, who I emailed throughout this whole project. And when we opened, she gave me a notebook of all my emails. And it's like this. And it's like, I don't know if I want to ever go through that or not. But I did find one. And I do want to read it. It's quick. And it was written to her on March 20th, 2014. And she's here, and I thank you, Susan, for this. I was very nervous yesterday and couldn't figure out why. At day's end, I knew it was a life-changing day. Last night I realized that the fate to get as many girls as we can out of their accident of birth zip code and into a life where they control their destiny. It was like my whole life came together in that moment. All the jobs, all the training, all the political skills developed over the years. It was amazing. The support in this town for this project is mind-boggling. People want to do the right thing around these kids. People who have lived here a long time know what an injustice has been done to this population. It's in the numbers, it's in the crime, it's in the pregnancy rates. It just screams to be fixed. And from that point on, this town supported this project in ways beyond which I could ever imagine. And it has been an incredibly humbling experience to watch this happen. Everything from the old families, the Camerons, the Boneys, Camerons gave us 31 acres of land that allowed us to build this building. It's just been mind-boggling and humbling. And I would like everybody who's connected with GLOW to stand and applaud everybody in this room for their support. And I want to single out Todd Godby, who's survived a group of women for the last 6 years and done a great job. And is Laura here? Did she end up coming? She had to drive a bus this morning. This is the kind of thing that happens when you're doing a school. And I also, I was thinking this morning about what's an intriguing person. And it's to me, and a number of the speakers, particularly the two sponsors, talked about it. An intriguing person to me has power and has the ability to change things. And that's not me. That's why I'm not a founder. That's why all these guys are a founder with me. But there are a number of people in this room who do have that ability. And what I have learned in the last few years of working with these kids and seeing their home life and seeing what they overcome and seeing their spirit and their resilience, which is amazing, is that, and I'm going to get serious here for a minute, there is an enormous racial divide in this town. And that happens in a lot of towns. I mean, I worked in New York for a long time, and obviously there was a huge racial divide there. But there were also very strong leaders that would affect that. Whether it was Al Sharpton or whoever, you just didn't mess around with them. You negotiated, it changed. That's not the case here. It's a silent divide. Joe Finley and I were talking about this yesterday, the collective impact. There are so many things on the verge of addressing this and helping this. Just look around this room. It needs to be addressed. And I said to Ben David, who's very passionate about this, as is Bill Saffo, they have been enormous supporters of the school from the beginning. And I said to Ben the other day, why does everybody keep going back to 1898? Why is that always part of the conversation? And he said, the thing is, I'd rather go back to 1897. What was it like in 1897 in Wilmington? It was the largest city in the state. It was dynamic. It had an economic base. It was inclusive. And you know, I hope we can get there. I hope we can get there. And I think these kids are going to help us get there. And it's one of the reasons why, even with 3,000 emails to Susan, I never got totally discouraged, because it's one of the reasons. And I want you to experience them for a minute. Come on, I want all the girls to come up. And here's what we want to do. I'm going to give the mic to Sharon. Sharon, you'll give the mic to whoever you want to. Up here, guys, okay? And here's the thing. The girls from day one, have defined the culture that they want in this school, the culture that works for them. And so they wrote a pledge. We asked them to write a pledge that they could say in the morning and at night. And the way they did it was really kind of interesting. They broke into 10 groups. They had single words all over pages, all over whatever. And each group had to get it down to 10 words. And then the groups came together and they had to get the whole pledge to 10 concepts, and then they wrote the pledge. And they wrote this, they say this every morning and every night. And listen and watch the concepts that are in it, because it belongs to them and it's who they are, and we need to recognize that. Okay, guys, go ahead.
We, the Sisterhood of Glow, pledge to respect ourselves and each other's needs, be kind in all our words and deeds, have fun while learning, be lovingly honest, keep a positive attitude, and live with confidence. To achieve our goals, we use our minds, and we never leave a sister behind. We are strong, we are brave, we are the Girls of Glow Academy.